All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2019 Copa America is here. Brazil versus Bolivia. This was a game with anticipation that Brazil was going to come out. They're going to make a good showing. Tournaments in Brazil. They have their people. They've got their mojo. We know the old Brazil, the passing, the dink and dunk, the going around people, the flair, the happiness, the joy you see on the field. Except it was the exact opposite. Brazil looks like each player's got three men weighing them down on their back. Even the most luxurious of players seem like the amount of pressure on them again, like they've not shaken off the 2014 World Cup loss to Germany at home. It's like they're playing with that stress, and I'm not even over-exaggerating. Halftime score 0-0 to Bolivia. Bolivia's playing four men at the back, probably two midfielders playing defensive center mid, to be completely honest. Brazil looks desperate already. The cool thing is they're wearing a white jersey to commemorate their very first goal in 100 years in Copa America. So that's kind of cool, but you can tell the stress is on them. Coutinho, I don't know what is going on. It's sad to watch him sometimes. Coutinho, when he's at his best, he is such a dynamic player, but his passes aren't there. He turned his back on a header in front of the box. I know maybe he thought the ball was going over, but he gave up on the play early. Casemiro he missed two headers. I mean, right now what's happening is Bolivia is attacking the ball, multiple people, five people in the back. Brazil is swarming. They have their four in the back, and they've got their midfielders and forwards almost all playing the same positions. They're running into each other. They're in each other's way. There's no dynamic play on the outside wingers. It's really all central mid with two random players playing striker. They're all getting in the wrong spaces. The crosses are going past far post when everyone's going near post. The near post runs when they're actually hitting long post. Everyone's running near post. Brazil does not look to be on the same page. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things where you're like, what's happening? And then when the whistle blew for the first half, the crowd booed. The whole crowd, the home crowd booed Brazil. 0-0 at halftime. All right, ladies and gents, it is halftime. About to go watch the second half. I'm really hoping the energy changes. I'm really hoping that they can start playing with some fun. They look like there's too much pressure on them. Without Neymar, you have Neres up there. Roberto Firmino's pulling back all the way to the halfway line to play defense sometimes. Coutinho started on the left. He's trying to attack. He's trying to take the ball away from people on the right side. It's just like it's a hot mess with positioning. So a lot of this I have got to put on the coach. I mean, he's letting this kind of drain it down, just swirl down the drain where he's not letting his players know this is your position. It's like no one knows where to be. He just figures the mojo's going to get itself going, but there's no direction. It's clear there's no direction, and everyone has the weight of the country on their shoulders, and if they're not playing up to the pressure, they're folding. All right, let's talk about the second half when it gets there. All right, second half of Brazil versus Bolivia in the very first opening game of Copa America 2019. Brazil needed to start fresh. They needed a new energy, and they got it. Brazil wins 3-0, and they needed it at home. They needed to get their mojo back. And what do they do in the 3 minutes into the second half? There's a VAR-verified handball. Brazil gets to send someone to the line, somebody that can epitomize getting over the hump of Germany in 2014, or over the hump of this team just not having the fluid passes, not really going out there with confidence. And who do they put up? The perfect person. Felipe Coutinho goes up. He has the ball. And you're thinking, how is this going to go? He came out with confidence. He walked up to the line, did about 3 stutter steps. The goalie wasn't having it, didn't budge. Coutinho still finished a perfect shot to the left side. The goalie ran or dove the right way, still didn't get it. Perfect goal. And you could see it unlocked a little bit of that passion. It relaxed a lot of the players out there. And it wasn't much later, in the 54th minute, Firmino got the ball on the right baseline outside of the 18-yard box, sends in a perfectly chipped cross to the far post. Coutinho, for his second goal of the night, jumps up, heads it in, 2-0. And you're starting to see the confidence coming back, right? I'm not saying it was a perfect game. By no stretch of the imagination was this a validation that they can win the tournament, but they fought back from a pretty rough first half. They subbed in a lot of players. They got Gabriel Jesus in, Willian in. They had Everton in, and Everton looked like the bolt of fire, just like Neres did. Neres had a really good second half as well. But when Everton came in, he was a flash down that left side. He was speeding in. He actually got the ball on the outside of the left in the 84th minute, as if we had a perfect spot to take a left cross. But instead, he drew that defender and went around him on the outside of the 18-yard box to the corner. Then went around 2-3 more players as he's going along, following along that baseline of the 18-yard box. Hits it from middle of the outside of the 18-yard box, right foot, far post. Goalie didn't have a chance. He was stuck in the middle of the goal, frozen, as the ball blasted into the upper right. So I just want to say, Brazil, very good response from that first half. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy. 3-0 is not indicative of a blowout, but it was a really good comeback from a very bad and slow start. Bolivia's going to have a hard time in this tournament, but they gave it all they could. You have to take your hats off to Bolivia for fighting through that team. That is a star-studded team. And they need to start getting they need to really start playing together. They need to start understanding each other. They need to get all in, start feeling where players are going to be, the crosses right now. Come up with some plays where you understand if you're on the outside of the 18, are you going to cross at far post, near post, who's running where? Because it looked in the first half, they had no idea where they were going. And they need to find a way to build up their offensive better if they want to be successful and win this tournament. But with that being said, they're not a given by no stretch of the imagination to be a home team winner of the 2019 Copa America trophy. But they did respond well at halftime. 3-0 Brazil to Bolivia.